What's good, y'all? Welcome back to Audiotree Live, the place for you to find your new favorite band. I am your loving host, Psalm 1, and today is Friday, July 25th, 2025. If you want authentic, emotive, cinematic post-rock, look no further than this next band out of Sydney, Australia. Ladies, and gentlemen, please welcome We Lost the Sea. Hi, everybody. I consider myself an extremely smart person, but there's something that confuses me a lot over here at Audiotree. 88% of our viewership is not subscribed to the channel, and that's like crazy to me. So I need a favor from you. If you watch the videos and you love the videos and you're not subscribed, please, it's a free and simple way to support the channel. Just hit that subscribe button. And when you do that, we promise you that we will continue to build this channel out, bring you the best bands, listen to your feedback, honestly, bring the bands that you want to see more here at Audiotree. So make sure you sub up and we can continue to make this the best music channel on YouTube. The last song you played has a music video that's technically your first proper one, correct?
Yeah.
Yeah. I would imagine you have to think about them as like short films almost.
Yeah, that's why we haven't really done one before, because a lot of our songs are way too long.
Yeah.
And it would blow the budget right out.
For real.
It's like short film, like feature films almost.
Yeah.
No, we did from The Quietest Place on Earth, when I first joined the band many, many years ago, we did a cool video there, but it was almost like a college video. I don't know, it looks cool. Mm-hmm. Brought in heaps of favours from pros and good cameras and stuff, but yeah, this one we did was like much better, much bigger production. Yeah.
Yeah. How did it come about? It was more like a family affair, correct?
Family affair.
More meaning like calling in friends, calling in.
Yeah. We enlisted the help of our friend Simeon, who plays in bands in our record label family, and he's also a TV guy, so he pulled in heaps of favours.
Nice.
Yeah.
You gotta love those music video favors, because you are correct. It will blow the budget so quick. You're currently on tour in between sets at Post Fest in Indianapolis, or Naptown as I like to call it. Every tour comes with its own set of challenges and triumphs, but can you tell me about a triumph that happened on this run, either on or off stage?
I think playing in New York City to a packed room was pretty amazing for all of us, to be honest. Like, yeah, that's obviously a bucket list city for any band, let alone a bunch of guys from Australia. So to turn up in Brooklyn and play this niche instrumental music with 27-minute songs and have people still appreciate it felt like a very high culture moment for us.
Absolutely.
I think just being here in general took us a long time to get over here. So, to be able to do this has been amazing.
Yeah, absolutely. Just actually riding the ride.
Yeah,
for
it's
sure.
not cheap.
Yes, no, not at all. And you said something that struck me, being able to play a New York show with a packed room. There's a lot of New Yorkers who haven't played New York shows with a packed room. So you should be very, very proud of yourself. I ask all international bands some form of this question. What's the weirdest thing about North American culture that you can say on camera?
The toilets.
Really?
Yeah. Like, why y'all got so much water in those toilets, man?
Getting the splashback. Yeah, like, what the hell's wrong with these people?
You just like every time you flush the toilet, you're like, oh, that could have like hydrated a family.
Yes. Yes.
It's like a bathtub, and you're just like, what is this? Unless I'm using the bathtub wrong, one of the two.
We've got a fairly new iteration of We Lost the Sea here. I'm curious of any hazing or lightweight initiation processes. Al, can you speak to this? Any dark nights of the soul? You have to prove your loyalty.
I mean, this has been my first like proper tour run with these guys, so I feel like I'm right in the thick of the hazing at the moment. It's been, I mean, the whole hazing experience has been going for about 2 years now, so I reckon we're getting close to the end, hopefully. So yeah, I've had my name on our shame board on our bus for this entire time for menial sins like
our tour manager would disagree about them being menial.
Leaving the bus unlocks pretty bad.
So let's talk writing. In and of themselves, your song titles are pretty epic. Who's coming up with these primarily? Is it all Mark?
No, it's not. Yeah, it's a lot of text messages and emails and back and forthing and 11 p.m. red wine ideas, and it's a lot of everything. So it's it took a long time, and it always does, and I think we always put a lot of time and effort into trying to make every aspect of the songs on the album to be at the same standard. So if we're going to have a concept, or if we're going to have song titles or artwork, it all needs to be as good as the music. And so it takes forever, and it takes a lot of work between a lot of people. So
there's like a second stage after the music's written and recorded, and we've all finished in the studio, and then we switch our minds to, I switch to artwork, Mark and I switch to theme, and we sort of riff on a bunch of stuff for several months before, so it's like a whole other project in itself.
Right. So the music comes out easy, but then it's like, what are we going to call this?
The music does not come out easy. No, nothing.
Oh, it doesn't come out easy.
Nothing comes out easy, no.
Okay. Well, I stand corrected. Fridha Kalho said, I paint flowers so they will not die, and you call back to that in your music video. Did that quote strike the match, so to speak, for the album title, A Single Flower? And can we talk more about how that concept kind of came about?
Oh, it's a big one. So the Fridha one specifically was for Everything in Here is Black and Blinding. We found that quote and thought it was apt because the whole album refers to flowers.
Sure.
From different aspects, from art, literature, culture, life. That one because she was like a badass and like a revolutionary, and just like that song's kind of more of a sort of like a protest song, or like protest through art. And I feel like that sentiment that she said encapsulates that, like she wants those flowers to live forever, so she's going to paint them and nobody can take that away. The general overall theme with the single flower, Mark can probably talk to that more, but there's a lot of aspects with that. We sort of drew lines between specific flowers and each song, as well as a quote or a reference from art and literature that tries to capture a moment that people can help understand what we're trying to say.
Yeah.
So without being too literal, this concept was very abstract. So that's why it took forever.
Mark, you said in a previous interview that we never write a riff we don't mean. And that authenticity really rings true throughout the catalog. But how do you keep things fresh while making sure you're not just playing up to what you think this might need to feel like, if you know what I mean?
Oh, yeah. I think we're not trying to write we kind of fell into being a post-rock band. And not a lot of us, I don't think anyone actually really listens to much post-rock at all, unless it's Godspeed You Black Emperor. But they don't count. Or Kieran doesn't, because he's got bad taste.
Oh.
But
the hazing continues.
Right.
I think that I think with this record, the newest one in particular, we got better at being more open and honest in the room together, and having harder conversations about how we want things to sound, or like what we do and don't like, because they're not always easy conversations. I know that I can be a little stubborn sometimes.
No.
But throughout it, I think people had a better platform in this one to kind of plant their feet down and stand up for certain bits throughout the whole record. And so when you've got someone who's passionate about it a bit, it makes it easier for everyone else to be dragged through with their enthusiasm. And yeah, I think the disingenuity thing it's pretty rife amongst a lot of bands in general. I want to say post-rock bands, but it's not just post-rock. And
sure.
Music in general has become soulless, I think, from a lot of different points of view. And if we don't feel it and it doesn't feel good to us in the room, we have this thing where usually we're sitting down when we're rehearsing or whatever, and we'll start playing a riff or whatever. And if by the end of the riff everyone's kind of standing and playing, we're like, oh, we know that's good. And that's the litmus test. If not everyone gets their feet and is having a good time, then the riff's not good enough.
Yeah. The feel it out.
Yeah. So.
If post-rock is a spectrum, where do you all fall on it these days? And how out of love are we with the term post-rock anyway?
Oh, I fucking hate it.
Oh, okay. I was trying to wonder.
Yeah.
I was wondering if you still hated it because.
No, I feel like that there's a difference between post-rock, the genre that is like the musical side of it, and that it's like now just being like tarred as like an explosion in the sky, crescendo core kind of blanket term to explain anyone who doesn't have vocals or does have a little bit of vocals and lots of delay or like plays expressive music. And I think that that as a blanket term for like a crazy spectrum of bands, like wearing their shirt, Glacier, shout out, but we played with Glacier yesterday and they were like one of the heaviest crushing bands I've ever seen. And somehow they're a post-rock band, and it's like, this doesn't make sense.
Right.
But I think the great thing about post-rock is that there's a great post-rock community. And so, like, we see the same people at festivals all over the world. We, like, have people who are like, hey, like, last night I had someone who was like, oh, I saw you played in Bruges.
Right.
And then he's in Indianapolis, and you're just like, this is crazy. And so I think that the term post-rock as a musical, I guess, beige blanket to lay over things is outdated and I think it started as a joke anyway.
Sure.
But I think that post-rock in a broader, more macro sense is cool, and that's the community. And so I'm happy with the post-rock community.
Gotcha. Yeah, for sure.
The genre labels are fucking stupid.
So we'll see you at Postfest tomorrow.
Yeah, right. Postfest tomorrow, Naptown.
Yes.
In approaching the live performances, are you sticklers for sticking the landing, or do you allow at all for like improvisational moments? I mean, I'm not hearing much today, as far as improvisational.
Intentional improv or?
Yeah, okay, so it's not, then it's not.
We're not good enough for that.
No, come on.
Okay, so
Preset
for
improvisation.
Next album, jam band. Just let it go. Yeah.
For example, I guess to cover that point, yesterday we played Departure Songs in full at Post Festival.
Yeah.
And we haven't done that for a while, and we used to do it all the time as our regular set. But for me, yesterday felt really special because there's been an outpouring of love from all the fans here in the States that they've been waiting to see that.
Yes.
Their favourite record for 10 years and like, oh my God, I can't believe you're here. And it's like, it's all lovely. And so we've been smashing it out on the road in small clubs and having a good time and, stuffing up here and there and whatever else. And, maybe a couple of too many tequilas before we go on stage. We've got to leave something up to chance, otherwise it's boring, right? But we walked on stage yesterday, and I guess it was kind of like we've got to deliver what they expect of Departure Songs. So, and we nailed it, and that felt more like here it is in a real special way. We still rocked out or whatever, but yeah, the club shows are different. But that was something special. So we stuck the landing there, because we all always rise to the occasion when special stuff happens like that. So,
of course, much like here today.
Yeah.
So you're having a great year, but what are you looking most forward to as we start to look toward the end of 2025?
We're playing this festival called CanFest in China, and we did it last year, and it was a pretty I don't want to speak for these guys. For me, it was a mind-blowing experience because it was my 4th We Lost the Sea show ever, and we're playing in a typhoon on some island in the East China Sea, and we're all on these jumbotrons, and
that's cool.
It was literally the most metal thing I think I've ever experienced in my life, and we get to go back in like a month or so and do Departure Songs in full there. So for me, that's a real highlight I'm anticipating.
I'm looking forward to our album release shows where we just play the new album. We've been playing Departure Songs for 10 years. And I know it's like people's like life-saving record, and that means the world to us. It really does. And we're delivering it now. Like the fans have got a really special set that we've put together. There's heaps of Departure Songs in it and stuff. But yeah, so if this comes out before our November shows, hey everyone, we're just going to be playing the new album.
Sure, yeah.
Hope that doesn't affect ticket sales.
Straight away.
A little time travel. It's
You
okay.
can get refunds from your point of purchase. That's a joke you can't give us.
No refunds. So a massive thank you to We Lost the Sea for joining us today. And as always, major love to our camera ops, engineers, dogs, editors, and artists here at Audiotree, spreading the gospel of live music. These wonderful gents are currently touring North America and will continue rocking globally. So get tickets to see them when they're in your area, buy up all of their merch, and get into their impressive catalog, including the latest album, A Single Flower. And like I always say, baby dolls, likes are good, but subscribing to Audiotree means you get these dope videos at the top of your feed as soon as they drop. Get cool merch at audiotree.shop, and if you want just the streaming audio thing, you can get it on things like Apple Music. Finally, follow Audiotree on social media for more fun content. My name is Psalm 1, signing off, and remember, y'all, stay dangerous and drive safe. Please. All right, I'll see you next time. Peace.